Hey, nice to see you. Today we're looking at Burn Arrow, and Fraxelf here is rank 1 on Europe right now, so let's look how he built his character. So first of all, Burn Arrow, fire damage, dot damage, with burning dots here, and the skill looks like this. Yeah, he's linking that to our beloved Fireball, so that is quite interesting for many of our viewers here. So yeah, Burn Arrow, spell activation on attack hit, linked to Fireball. And then also Quick Attack, Elemental Damage Amplification, Fire Penetration, Persistence, and Mana Stone. So that's a non-crit build. And it also works with Strike, so you could be adding Pulverize in there instead of Elemental Damage Amplification if you choose to do so. Or instead of Mana Storm if you don't have it. On Fireball, he's also playing Persistence, Multi-Shot, Concentrated Area Damage, Strike, and Projectile Acceleration. Strike is very important here, since the downside doesn't apply. Only the damage increase applies, so that's probably one of the most important runes on Fireball here. Instead of Projectile Acceleration, you can also play a more damaging rune here, if you choose to do so. The Strike rune here doesn't have any downside because the attack speed is fully based on Burn Arrow and it only slows down Fireball. And Fireball is triggered, so the attack speed or cast speed doesn't matter for it. Okay, the roll here is linked to use count and disarm. And then he's playing Seal of Striking for a big damage boost. Life Totem here for some health regen, linked to Life Imbued Totem. We can Elemental Totem for some more elemental damage. Split Projectile, he sometimes slots that into here, I guess for mapping probably. And this is the setup for bosses. Because you kind of need that to clear a lot of monsters efficiently. And I guess he also tinkered around with attack damage increase and Burning Flame, but decided not to use them anymore. Seal of Elemental Resist is the defensive option here. You can also play Seal of Chaos Resist if you already max Elemental Resist. Or you can play Seal of Condensed Elements, so you take 10% less damage. Oh wait, not Condensed Elements. Wait, let me see how it's called actually. It's a rare Seal. Seal of Elemental Domain. You can only get it from synthesizing rare runes, same as the Chaos one, so it is definitely hard to get. And if you decide to play with a bunch of armor, you can also play Seal of Defense as another defensive option. Okay, a Tenacious Regeneration and Attack Impulse here are being used as the offensive and defensive cooldowns, and both are linked to time acceleration and increased duration. Yeah, that's that for the skills. Let's look at the gear. Bow here with fire penetration, it's a meteor shower bow. Speed is high, no crit of course. Health absorb, lots of speed, hit rating, dot rate, probably very important here. Some attack damage, and status effect damage down here. Later he can unlock a second stat here on the legendary enchantment. Coffin of Innovation as the helmet, very powerful in terms of damage. Projectile damage on the shoulders. Some fire damage, some lightning, some health, so not really good. This item is not really good. You can play any of the firebuild spalders that we are playing on our mage. They should be better than this here. You can also play a full armor base, get rid of this little damage here, but you get a lot more tankier from the armor, so that helps. And what you ideally want is like 2 high resist, high fire damage tier 10, and like health or armor. Plus 3 attack damage skill rune level, that is very nice with some health, some armor. Ideally you want a full armor base here too, the health doesn't matter too much. If you have way more armor, that helps you against all these archers and spear throwers and physical damage projectiles. Double resist, but not so high rolls. So quite achievable. This is budget gear so far. Castor's Fighter as the gloves. Astonishing not boots with a bunch of movement speed and movement skill rune. Cooldown recovery speed, but ideally you want tier 10 speed here. Tier 10 and tier 10 projectile damage, but that's hard to get, so very good budget option to play it like this. And then you have 2 or 3 resists on them. Lots of health here, some attack speed, some damage, some resist, so quite powerful quiver. Double elemental damage. You can even get attack speed on that, I believe. Or no. Fire damage? I think fire damage, elemental damage, elemental damage. And then 2 or 3 resists and stats is good. So yeah. Double health on the belt, some strength, which adds tankiness too. Double resist, even more strength down here. So yeah, very powerful belt. I guess he's trying to have 200 and everything here. We will see once we inspect the Zodiac if that's needed. But stats is definitely good. It seems he has it on many items. Double resist here, projectile damage, attack speed. Instead of projectile damage, you can also have fire damage. Or elemental damage, yeah. Attack speed. Some stats again. Okay, let's look at the charms here. Castors for elemental damage here too. And then Capris with attack hit rate, elemental damage, dot, damage with two-handed. Damage with two-handed here too. And elemental damage, and 40% Capri. So Capri does a lot of fire damage. If you decide to get the Castor to 140, you will take less elemental damage from all elements. With Capri only from fire elements, so that's the choice. Capri does more damage overall, but you lose some tankiness. So either Castor or Capri for the charms. In the Zodiac, he's trying to split them kind of even, so he gets all of the requirements that he needs, but also hits above 200 here, I assume. Okay, all of the upper nodes on the first. On the second, all of the elemental nodes. On the third, no big surprise here. Taking the attack hit rate over the elemental resist though. On the fourth, projectile damage, some dot damage, yeah. That's standard. Then next you would go up here, but we will look at this here first. Some armors, health, damage. Very nice. Fire penetration, of course. And here some tankiness with fist damage taken dampening. Over here, oh, the debuff rate with shock. Okay, interesting. Didn't expect that. But shocking enemies increases their damage taken, so that's quite powerful once you can apply shock. I already think I know where he applies that. Projectile damage if indent dex is over 200, so there we have it. At least indent dex needs to be over 200. Bunch of damage here. This all works against bosses. It also gives you some tankiness against bosses. And over here, all of the two-handed nodes. I think he could choose this one here too, if he wanted to add one more slot instead of damage there. Okay, a lot of damage against debuffed and status effect. That's very powerful damage there, since we are burning the enemies. And fist damage taken, dampening, and dodge disabled, but a lot of health there. Okay, so let's look into the special talents. Convert mana for fixing mana issues. Acceleration for gigantic attack speed and movement speed. And elemental penetration. Chain count +1. Knowledge here for cast speed and spell damage, so this doesn't really apply too much. Spell damage does to the fireball, but other than that, it's mostly just a path here where you get a big chunk of damage. And even though you're kind of missing out on 2 talent points in here, I guess for the shock here, the additional lightning damage on every hit that you get on this talent tree, it is still worth it, since you don't need to have any shocking skill. Your fire, burning arrow, and fireball will be already shocking the enemy. So that is a insane amount of damage boost that you get here from this node. And that's also why he's skilling shock earlier. And here elemental damage amplification, quite powerful too. Okay, let's look at the relics. Avatar of Capri with damage, avatar damage, and flame orb. Interesting. Multi-shot and cooldown recovery. Very interesting choice there. And here Avatar of Alyssa with fire resist, but you can choose any resist that you're still missing as the second talent there. Yeah, sadly all of the resists aren't maxed yet, but that's why he's playing Seal of Elemental Resist to fix some of that. And armor is quite low. Health is 4.6, so the tankiness is not too crazy good. I think with a little adjustments on the defensive side here, you can get quite strong with this build. Yeah. If you guys are interested in playing Burning Arrow, it is quite a strong build, and you can hit a lot of DPS as we saw. That is single target DPS more than 5 million. Yeah, that's the build. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.